to our amazing event. This is Vote That Jawn, a midnight summer's Jawn. You can clap for sure. Welcome. My name is Matthew. I will be your host for the evening. We have an amazing group of young interns who are going to blow you out of the proverbial water with their amazing spoken word. If you are not prepared, you have a very short amount of time to get yourself there. One of the things we do have also is an open mic. So if you feel so compelled during the day or the evening to sign up for that, after our performances, we will have that available. All right? Right now, we're going to have an amazing person who has impacted all of our lives, mine included. She is our lovely Captain Captain. She is the pioneer behind Vote That Jawn. Yeah, I told her I was going to jazz it up a little bit. So this is Miss Carrie.
Good evening. Good evening and welcome again. I want to first, before we go any further, I want to thank Public Trust for allowing us to come in here to this extraordinary space. The space influences what happens to us. The structures that we live in influence us. The governance structures that we live in influence us. And we then, in turn, influence them if we correctly figure out our power, correctly figure out how to get the best excellence we can and connect to others. So thanks for that. Thank you to Dylan Vasquez, who is our musician for the evening. It's a one-person house band. We met Dylan with the Drexel Jazz Tets. And you're still at Drexel? Or have you graduated? Okay, you're still there. Okay. Still. What we love to do is have all of these young people bringing all of their arts, their intelligence, their brilliance, their passion, bringing it all together. One of our themes is everything is votable. Everything is votable, right? From your potholes to where we live, to whom we're allowed to marry, to our health, to our money, to our, the structures that allow us to connect or keep us separate. Everything is votable. These young people are going to talk to, I'm looking at them because they're here, they're beautiful, they're ready to go, and they're going to talk to you in spoken word about the things that matter to them, for which they are creating art to talk to their cohort, because when young people talk to other young people about voting, we've been calling it, it's like fairy dust, right? Instead of it being, I don't think it will. Doesn't matter, my vote doesn't matter, it's just one. Instead of that, it becomes possibly cool, right? So, I leave you with this. When was the last time you said democracy and fantastic in the same sentence? You're going to say it tonight. Thank you.
All right. So, I would love to talk to you all more about like me and my excitement about working with the youth, but I don't want to deprive you of their amazing work. You will have time to learn more about me. I want to thank all of you for showing up. Are you ready for our youth? Awesome. There you go. Give them a warm welcome. So our first performer is a young woman who has come to us with an exciting history and a lot of fervor, but also a calmness. I'm excited to hear the piece. I've heard the piece already. I'm excited for you all to hear the piece. So we're going to welcome Amanda.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda, and I'm a senior at Central High School. I grew up in Northeast Philadelphia to two Brazilian immigrant parents, And my poem, We the Flowers, is dedicated to them and their lives in 21st century America. We were almost out. Luckily, a safe enough place was found. The car had to travel down dark roads, tremendous hills, and over large plains to avoid being spotted. Our fear, singing and humming native songs, could help us finally blossom into more than just tired laborers or cash cow victims. The pride I believed I would feel was seldom there. It's strange to see. I can remember and still feel my embarrassment when I was first unaccepted. The world called us aliens, though we bleed and cry the same as them. Now many of us are forcibly cast away to suit the big man's agenda or perfect world. What they don't know is we must soften our characters to fit their expectations. Our roots, if given air to breathe, will be suffocated by rejection. But we continue to plant ourselves and continue to sing our songs. Someday, we will fully blossom into the budding flowers we're meant to become. Thank you.
Yeah, right? Right? Makes my job easier when I don't have to say much. Next up is a young man who came to us very determined, very knowledgeable about local politics, and inspiring to me because as a person who has voted for upwards of a decade now, local politics often gets misrepresented and overlooked. So someone who is passionate and smart, a good advocate for important things. We're gonna welcome Mr. Harry.
Hi.
See, told you. So I just want to say it's been 6 weeks. We've visited amazing places. Shout out to the Kids Lex Center. We've done amazing things, met with amazing people. Shout out to Enoch the Poet. We've all been very much inspired. A person who has also inspired me just from sheer willpower and energy is a good vibe. Here's Miran.
Hi, I'm Jawn, and I used to lead the voting club at my school, which basically meant that we hunted down people to get them to vote. And doing that, I realized that there were a lot of people that were just generally unmotivated to do any of that. Like, I would talk to people, and they seemed almost fatigued at even the idea of doing something, at even the idea of voting on their beliefs or on their moral standards. And that was interesting, to say the least. But I mean, I'm fatigued, you're fatigued, we're all sick and tired, right? So this is my piece to make you feel a little bit more embarrassed about it. Work was dull and uneventful. She spent her break behind the store, scrolling through her feed with a lazy and uncoordinated finger, her gaze following the plight of people just a few states beneath her, people who had all that she didn't quite people who needed all that she didn't quite have. Even in her waterlogged sneakers, she felt lucky to only tread in the puddles outside and not worry about anything besides washing the puddles off later. Her own financial troubles weighed heavy on her shoulders, yet all the more bearable the longer she scrolled. Pictures, videos, calls for help all over her phone, and the irksome thought in the back of her head that shouldn't she give? Shouldn't she beg alongside them? Reposting, reblogging, it all felt so insignificant, just a click of a button. All she could do, and not nearly enough. And she wondered, idly, when she would have to be the one begging. Natural disasters everywhere. It seemed headlines popped up every other day. Forest fires in Canada, tornadoes ravaging Missouri, news reports that left a queasy pit in her stomach, yet she kept reading. Maybe she was just getting older. Maybe she had finally learned how to keep up with the world, and all its tragedies were part of the fine print. Maybe the world was ending soon, she thought, with just a hint of amusement. The thought was acrid on her tongue. She sucked a breath in, not from dread or stress, or even the itchy nervousness that plagued her just a couple years before. No, it was the absence of feeling that bothered her most. 2 cities nearby were hit by a hurricane. Fast, sharp, the hand of nature tore through houses and cars alike, scrambling them through its claws and scratching a deep, dark crevice into a once bustling city. She remembered visiting there herself a couple of years ago, when her friends were still in college and their worries seemed so small, buying drinks together under the harsh and unforgiving sun of the summer. She thought about calling them up now, checking in. But they haven't talked in a while, she reasoned, and she was scared that they would ask for what she couldn't quite offer: a helping hand, a listening ear, empathy. Natural disasters, yet she spent her breaks wondering if it meant more. Man-made, no doubt, trashed and crumbling under the weight of powerful desire, smothered with money until it shrieked too loudly to ignore. She remembered, when she was younger, listening to scientists talk of instability and hazards, urging governments and billionaires and the people in between to prevent that fate. She remembered feeling scared. She doesn't feel that tremor in her hands anymore. Maybe if she had let herself remain even a little bit more sensitive, she might have done something about it, but it's too much work worrying over something like that. It's no use when she's just one person, one voice swimming in millions. Her neighbor's house was flooded. She was lucky, for once, living on the highest floor in an elevated street. She watched the rain stream down from her window with a cup of watery hot cocoa warming her hands. Her phone beeped from the counter, warnings upon warnings as she watched the family pile up on top of their roof together. They stretched and huddled under a long, thin blanket. It was worn and ugly and probably just waiting to be thrown away. Their dog draped over the mother's lap, her wrinkled hands running through his fur in an attempt to soothe. The same wrinkled hands that waved to her on the way to work sometimes. Now, though, that porch was beyond ruined, and that chair was no doubt damaged beneath the water. She thought, dully, that it was almost funny how danger crept closer and closer, tiptoeing around her feet almost gracefully, tugging her around the ballroom, knocking the other dancers askew. What a complicated dance it kept trying to fulfill, and she was far from their first partner for it. It wouldn't be long before it stepped on her toes. How selfish, she mused, watching the father pull his children closer, that she was watching such a tragedy, and all she could think about was her own.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how y'all feeling so far? Yeah? Yeah, blown away yet? Well, hold on to your socks. Okay, so you may be now at a space where you think you understand the voice of these young people. I don't know if you quite know the depth of the work we've done to get to this point. And someone who I've seen do a good amount of that work coming out of her shell and becoming a powerful poet, which all of these young people have become in front of my eyes. I want to introduce you to Vismita.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vismita, and I'm going to be attending Temple University this fall. I live in Northeast Philly, and I have since I was 10, and I used to live in Southwest Philly for most of my childhood. But on a broader scale, I moved from India to America when I was just 2 years old. So the poem I will be reading today is about the issues faced by immigrants and all groups that are affected by structural racism in America. Vismita, my introduction to the world. The first impression people have of me. The H next to the T has been lost in translation, drowning in the North Pacific Ocean, wondering why it wasn't enough to land. My mom's thick accent and red bindi made it through. They stood loud and proud in every room. People who walked past looked at her like she was crazy, like her appearance was something unnatural. It was like being in a cage with piercing eyes. Fast forward 16 years, I thought these metal claws that consumed us would start to break, but they only started to suffocate us even more. It's not that serious. The first thought in many people's heads when they see just another video of a kid realizing that they have to raise themselves, watching their only form of protection in the world be confined and beaten like an animal. Maybe they shouldn't have came here illegally. The second thought forming in many people's heads as they excitedly book tickets for a luxurious Puerto Rican vacation, blindly prancing past displaced families who can no longer find comfort in their own homes. Well, they're criminals. This third thought comes with confidence. Confidence in knowing that this stereotype is so ingrained in America's structure, it can be considered American culture. So, what makes a real American? Is it blindly accepting the direction our society is headed towards? Is it nodding and agreeing instead of questioning? Is it when you have the opportunity to see Cowboy Carter in person and be privileged enough to ask, why is she singing the national anthem? Privileged enough to hear whole lot of red in that white and blue and let that line race through one ear and out the other. They try to confine real Americans to this cage, but our humanity will always be stronger than their hate.
Blown away yet? Yeah. I'm gonna just keep saying that until somebody stops me. One of the amazing things that we did during our time together over the course of these 6 weeks are like daily exercises, little warm-ups, about 15 minutes to kind of get them prepared to do some of the artistic and some of the civic engagement work that we were doing throughout the course of this time period. Our next poet, quite reserved. First 2, 3, 7, 9 million hours. But sometime last week, there was a shell that was cracked. I am very excited for you all to hear what came from that experience. Now I'm presenting Raekwon.
Hi, my name is Raekwon. I'm 17, and I'm extremely nervous. That's all right. I can't even tell you which parent I got that from. I grew up in Southwest, but I was in West a good amount of my life. So I got a little experience. I'm doing a found poem on a piece I created on the gentrification of West Philly. West Philly. Walked these blocks my whole life. Muir faded, but proud. Memories stamped on every street. Smell of hoagies wafting out the door. Home doesn't look the same lately. The houses, chipped bricks, porches full of plastic chairs. Unks always asks about your day. Now slick new paint jobs, blues, grays, minor white, screams, new money. The people, blocks full of black families, aunties, unks, music flowing through open windows, especially Sundays. Now, sidewalks feel quieter. New neighbors, they don't blast music. They don't sit on the steps. They smile politely, but it's different. It's not out of love for our color, it's fear. They call it revitalization. Newspaper says up and coming like we were dead before. What hurts most? We could have stopped this. We gave away our home. I realized my vote mattered. Our voices mattered. Thank you.
So I just assume y'all think I had a lot to do with all this. And thank you very much. All right, so in the same vein, but kind of like a different side of the coin, in these group exercises and activities, we encourage them to speak out, to reach internally, to learn more about what things are really passionate to them. Our first week was, what is your Jawn? Now, if you're a local, if you're from Philly, you know exactly what that means. What's your Jawn? If you don't know what that means, Jawn is like a person, place, or thing, and it is pretty much anything. One of the people whose Jawn is actually very near and dear to my heart because we from a similar blocky type of situation is a very inspirational young man. I will bring him forward for you now. Get ready for Kingston.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kingston. I'm 16, rising junior at Science Leadership Academy, and I was born and raised in North Philly. All my life I lived there, and growing up in North Philly, I saw a lot of the empty lots and the abandoned homes being knocked down and built up with 3-story condos, big apartment complexes, and what's happening throughout North Philly, spread to Northern Liberties, Fishtown, and also hit Kensington. And my title is titled Zombie Land, and it's going to be talking about the state Kensington is in right now and what's could happen in the future. So they built row homes by the rails, brick by brick, until the block filled up. A new community to build a family until the white folks left. They took the city's money with them, packing taxpayer dollars into a U-Haul, the schools dry, blocks abandoned. The city was bleeding while the suburbs were blooming. They left for more grass, bigger homes, leaving the city to move to the suburbs. And as Kensington started to crack, the rise of crack started in Kensington. Zombie Land is what it's called now. Tents under the L's, needles being thrown in the street like trash, and sirens sing lullabies at night. Philadelphians view it as a crisis, but it's a business. $1 billion open drug market that profits from pain every day. The policing hides in their car every day. The raids only stops business for a day. The politicians makes broken picky promises, and Kensington won't be Kensington 10 years from now. Thank y'all very much.
I'm also from North Philadelphia. I'm just not that tall. Okay, so we did have a few interns who unfortunately were not able to be with us today for various circumstances, and their voices still matter. I think that's really important, not only for our interns, but for the people we think about often, right? Their voices matter. Your voices matter. One way you make those voices matter is you vote. Locally, nationally, vote. Okay, I'm glad I could impart that message upon you. So our next piece is going to be from an amazing young woman. Once again, we met her. She was relatively reserved, but always had powerful, powerful things to say. And they always say, from the mouth of babes comes wisdom. So here's her video. Here's Sorsha.
We the people, in order to form a more perfect something, have fallen short, but we've learned, we've tried, we've marched, we've stumbled. The anger is real, the memory is long. The legacy of discrimination is still with us. It did not fade, it was not healed. Justice delayed, equality deferred. Resentment builds quietly, in schools, in silence, in neighborhoods divided by opportunity. Words spoken behind closed doors, laughter that lands too hard. Policies that look neutral but hurt the people again. Race is a lens we don't choose. It distorts, it divides, but it can also reveal. We hold truths and contradictions. We are taught to distrust those not like us, to fear, to defend. And yet we want the same things. We are not divided as our politics suggest. We are not as cynical as the headlines insist. We have a choice to perpetuate a cycle of blame, or to bind our struggles together. Your liberty is tied to mine. Your future sits in my hands. This union was never perfect. It is still being written. We are still trying to form a more perfect something.
I had to get y'all clapping for the Slack channel. Cause she not here. And we got a Slack channel. Okay. So the poem was called A More Perfect Something. It's an erasure poem. So I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that this is a thing that we be doing. We be getting it done. I don't know if y'all know, but we be out here making stuff happen. Next up, another young inspirational voice. Another young, quiet, reserved spirit who has like super powerful moments. You know how like you're in a room and you see somebody and you're like, they got something to say, but they don't say nothing. And then when they say something, you're like, dang, that was dope. Okay, so I'm going to bring up Eileen.
Hi everyone, I'm Eileen, and I'm a rising junior at the Baldwin School, which is in Bryn Mawr. So recently I worked with lawyers at Legal Services for PFAs, which are protection orders people who experience domestic abuse can seek. Throughout my time there, I heard a lot of horrific and incredibly sad stories. In Philly, there are thousands of protection orders filed every year, so this is an issue that really matters to me. Of course, all of these people and stories in my poem are completely fictional, but they aim to express the very real emotions I witnessed during my time there and amplify them. Thank you. PFA, Protection from Abuse, case number 2403984, May 16th. Plaintiff, Reyes Mara. Defendant, Reyes Julian. Describe the filing incident. You and me and this train, over and over, over and over. 5 p.m., somewhere, defendant's hand strangled blue. Blue. Pressed cornflowers, thumb, forefinger, splintered. It's always smelling cold on the train. Wet denim smears, headlights drag themselves open, trees blur breathless out the window. And everything made of cornflower will breathe one day. There are 2 people on the train who smell like the same cup of coffee, and I'm used to it. I stop speaking something soft, stop burning like skin and diaries and shared things. Skin, story, evidence. The headlights forgot, the railroad forgot, the rain numbs, the slush glows, and there are 2 people on the train who smell like the same cup of coffee. cup, throat, evidence. My lungs made peace with it, beside myself, beside, not myself, not hands, blue, strangled, over and over and over and over, PFA, protection from abuse, case number 2507783, July 9th, plaintiff, Fielding, Ava, defendant, Mercer, Joel. Describe the filing incident. See you in the same light that set 5 years ago. Outside the local 7-Eleven, flies circled a trash can, lazy, slow, somehow still alive. Faces stare from car windows, eyes dead. A kid drops a red slushie. No one turns, it just bleeds. 1 p.m. Defendant pushed my head into the steering wheel. Security cameras catch the road, gray and yellow sun, a bit of blue, black. Everything stops moving because it stopped breathing and is dead. Think you smell the metal laced with something burning slowly. Think you smell the trees burning fast. PFA, protection from abuse. Case number 2509253. October 23rd. Plaintiff, Devlin Nora. Defendant, Devlin Mark. Describe the filing incident. 10:15 p.m., defendant threatened to shoot me. 11 p.m., I screw up my face before the shower, trust too hard that it comes off, still stuck to my shirt, bleeding into the carpet, a thing I can't scrub, won't unstain. Staring at a stitch gone wrong, watching it bleed, feeding it blood. Drop after drop, I wait for it to shudder, hoping the skin will crawl itself back, half hope it doesn't, so I can point to it and say, look what I survived. Thank you.
Yup. Told you. If you're feeling things now, then we have done our job. One of the important things about writing is the conveyance of emotion, right? So those are important. Those are fine. Those are welcomed in this space. One of the things we had were community guidelines, where we talked about when we're creating creatively, what are things that we expect? Vulnerability was at the top of that list, right? So you're getting that from these young people in a way that they probably haven't been able to express prior to this. So I feel amazed to be a part of that process, and we hope you do as well. Oh, stop it. We do have another young woman who couldn't be with us today, but was always like a center point, very bubbly, very into the social media aspect of the work we were doing, and always had a very interesting take and perspective and a little bit of a jokey jokes. Kept us lively, for sure. All right. Next up is Milan.
Hi guys, my name is Milan Harrison, and today I will virtually be presenting my two pieces of content since I cannot physically be here. My first piece of content is a poem titled Fund Philly Schools Right, and my second piece of content is basically a meme portraying that idea that people feel like their vote doesn't matter, and then I created a short explanation video after that. So now we're going to get into my first piece of content, which is my poem, Fund Philly Schools Right. In Philly schools, the funding's low, but students show up just to go. The lunches served don't taste that great. It shows how much they choose to give. The teachers try with what they've got, but 200 won't buy a lot. They spend their own so kids can learn, yet fairer pay they still don't earn. The buildings age with wear and tear. Some schools have heat with no cool air. We need a place that feels like home, not just bricks and heat where kids just roam. Give us the funds, the space, and the tools, and stop treating us like we're hopeless fools. We're not statistics on a screen. We're kids with purpose, pride, and dreams.
Cause we got a Slack. I just don't want y'all to be like, you keep videoing us. All right. So behind us have been these amazing works of art. They are done by our amazing youth leader, Farouk Adjer. He does amazing works. He's also an amazing poet. But before that, I believe, according to your little thingy things, I'm Matthew Palmer. My artist name is Matthew Rahim. I'm your co-director. I have the amazing pleasure of working with all of these young people and our youth leaders and facilitating and creating and encouraging. And so we had this amazing workshop with an amazing administrator, a leader, a pioneer, a go-getter, Miss Beth, who does awesome work. And she introduced us to found poetry. And so to our visit at the Kids Like Center, there was this amazing document about Black Panthers. And I wasn't born in the 60s, but I read it and I was like, maybe I should have been. So I'm going to do a poem called A Letter to America, signed Black Panthers. It is a found poem. It comes from an actual document. And you can find that at the Kids Like Center. All right. Message to America. Message to America, delivered on the 107th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation at Washington, D.C., capital of Babylon. World Racism and Imperialism, June 19th, 1970, by the Black Panther Party. As oppressed, captive, Black Americans, we, a people, find ourselves in a dangerous world situation. This has been in the past and is true today. White, racist America. It's not over. Warning to America, we are from 25 to 30 million strong. We are armed. We are conscious as our situation and determined to change it. We are unafraid. We are American. People, rise up. Reverse the present nature, if unchecked, holds only repression and genocide for Black people. We, Black people, forced to respond. A war of salvation in the chaos will gut this country, utterly destroying it. Accept genocide? We inflict total destruction upon Babylon. Understood. Now, the power, ultimately, our only guarantee against genocide. Strategic ability to lay this country in ruins. If forced, guarantee we will not hesitate. For salvation, liberation, and freedom of our people, we will not hesitate to kill or die. All power to the people. So, I'm sorry, I'm a little giddy. So we had run-throughs and rehearsals for the past week, and I'm really big on like, I don't really be rehearsing like that. And so the students are like, but Matt, aren't you gonna read our, we wanna hear, we would love to. And to be honest, I wasn't quite prepared to share. And so today was that. So that's also their first time hearing it. So I showed off a little, just a tiny bit. All right, now without further ado, an amazing voice, an amazing artist, a presence that is just as tall as he is. One of our amazing youth leaders, Farouk.
Hey everybody, my name is Farouk Adjer. I'm 22 years old, just graduated from Penn. A little bit about me, I grew up in Germantown. A lot of the work I do based on the arts, based on social justice work, has to do with my family on both sides, but specifically on my Adjer side, my dad's side. We've been here since the 1850s, so 175 years in Philly, all around. And just the biggest thing is I'm really proud of the students, especially when, like, at their age, that's when I really got into it. But to see that they continue to expand on things that I'd never done when I was their age just makes me feel full of hope, and more so to see that they'll do amazing things when they go to college, when they get their children, everything, all that. But today I'm going to read to you a poem called Double Consciousness. I actually made this, or the first part of it, in Enoch's, the poet's poetry little small workshop. And so it was basically, yeah. So basically it was just to give some background, and it's like, just pick a object or a concept and just write about it. And so I just expand it because, as you can see, Matt's an amazing poet. Olivia will come up, she's amazing. I couldn't get showed out. I was telling them so much things they could do. I gotta do it too, so I gotta come a little bit correct, right? All right, so I'll start. Double consciousness. I met myself for the first time today. I guess I should say my other half. It's strange. He has my height. He has my hair down to the dense curls. He has my presence, not perfect, but strangely seems like me. It's strange. We both have our skin draped with the same complexion, the same creases within our skin, the same freckle on our nose, the same slit in our eyebrow. But he's different, not me, not I. Me. I want to be seen. I want you to see me. I want to shine my light across the heavens and let my soul shake the earth. But he's not me. This thing wants to be seen for different reasons, too scared, too broken to show himself, but not me. It is said 2 halves make a whole, but what lies before me, before my eyes, paints this to be an illusion, a falsehood. When I take my time to peer into his soul, all I can see is nothingness. I'm on the edge of falling. It makes me feel despair. It makes me feel small. He is everything and nothing all at once. He is happiness and sorrow, hope and hopelessness. He is me, but not me. His voice is off. The sound comes out like fragile glass at the edge of breaking. No power, no confidence, no music. He talks in my ear almost like a whisper, urging my every move, policing me. His smile is wrong. It seems forced. A toothy grin with pain behind the eyes. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know. I just feel his gaze burn searing marks into my head, through my brain, clawing out its way until it reaches light. He doesn't see me, but I see him, and it fills me with ancestral pain that makes me want to explode. It's like my soul is no longer mine, no longer my birthright. My mind becomes fragmented. I feel the rain begin to swell within my core. I feel heavy. I feel confused. I feel angry. I feel blemished. I feel betrayed. I am betrayed by him, me. It gets to the point that I'm ready to burst, ready to scream. He covers my mouth. I cover his, and we both remain silent.
Do you believe me yet? Y'all like on my side now? Yeah, we're like all family at this point. So we have one more from our amazing group, and I heard this young woman's work at the Sheno Prize, which I hosted, an amazing event. And when I say we knew it was going to be great when she FaceTimed in from the train. And I've only learned how great her work can be. It's only gotten better. And this piece Listen, I've been around poetry and theater a long time. This piece, introducing Olivia.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Olivia Loudon. I am 22 years old, a recent graduate of Bryn Mawr College. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And this poem is about my experience with queer history. Shortly before I came to Bryn Mawr, I came out of the closet as bisexual. And history has always been a sort of strength for me. So it was very interesting, coming into this community where, coming out of this teenage years where I'm clinging to queer history, queer figures like Marlene Dietrich and Eleanor Roosevelt to kind of find strength in myself, to this women's college where, frankly, you can't swing your arms without accidentally backhanding a lesbian. It's crazy, but I loved it so much. And thank you. Our school's motto is Veritatem Dilexi, which I originally thought means I seek the truth, but it actually means I delight in the truth. Don't worry, I address it in the poem. So without further ado, Veritatem Dilexi. Veritatem Dilexi. I seek the truth. I let the microfilms roll past in a dizzying flash of letters on the screen. I turn away, it makes me nauseous. The spinning reel ticks by, years disappear in seconds. I wrap myself in other people's memories and I disappear. Veritatem Dilexi. Film lasts longer if it's cared for. Film can last 500 years. It will outlive me, it will outlive you. So when a girl presses a kiss to another girl's lips in a black and white photo, it will outlive Anita Bryant, Nancy Mason. We will exist in a future without them. We have a past, and so we have a future. That is an undeniable truth. Veritatem Dilexi. They hid in secret gardens and moon benches, staying on the safe side of friendship poles. They were young ladies who weren't quite ladies. I read their words, I see their faces, I know them as well as I know myself, because I too left tokens at the feet of Athena, praying not for empowerment, but for liberation, praying that this was just not an island in a storming sea. They had to know they weren't alone, didn't they? Veritatem Dilexi. Because the truth is, we find each other. We always have. We find basements and dress shops and libraries and apartments. We cram ourselves inside like fish in a barrel, dodging the nightsticks of the men we were told would protect us. We write each other. Transsexual, 34, lives in Philadelphia looking for companionship. Young queen, 14, just came out looking for a place to crash. We ring bells and we dance with somebody in broad daylight so that the younger versions of ourselves know that there is something out there for them. Veritatem Dilexi, because I refuse to turn away from it. Leela Alcorn, a young trans girl, walks into traffic. She is buried under the wrong name. And an 11-year-old girl for the first time sees what it means to have your legacy erased. Eleanor Roosevelt writes to Lorena Hickok, I go to sleep thinking of you. The letters are burned, but not all of them, no. Some survive. And 80 years later, a girl holds a school laptop to her chest, trying to pull some of the strength into the future, into her own bones. Sappho's words exist in fractured pieces, but what we have, we hold tight because someone will remember us, I say, even in another time. A trans woman dies alone in her bed. The president turns away. The churches shut their doors, but her friends stitch together a patch wider than her arms and hope, pray, wherever she is. She is stretching her wings and flying on feathers sewn together because she was here, damn it. Veritatem Dilexi. In all its beauty and pain, I delight in the truth. That is what they say it really means. I delight in the truth, but delight feels too simple of a word to describe it. I mourn the truth. I worship the truth. I feel the truth and the simple complexities that come with being queer. I delight in the truth, but I demand to go further because I seek the truth we all share. I say we, not to steal their stories or their pain for myself, but because I am only here because of what they did. My history is their history. I want to scream back into the past the lessons they taught me. That you are loved, that you are not broken, that they cannot change or erase what you pressed to film and passed to hands in secret over the years, that now your alma mater is known for the same thing you were expelled for, that we have found each other and we will never lose each other, that someone in another time remembers you. Thank you.
So, yeah, that piece. Psh. So, as a cohort, we've been hearing that piece during rehearsal, and every time I do one of these, because I'm a gangster low key, and so I can't be too vulnerable. But one of my favorite lines from that is, I lay tokens at the feet of Athena for liberation, for freedom. What? Oh, that's a bar. That's such a bar. Okay. All right. I guess it's just like me as a co-director to gas up my cohort because they're awesome. And so that is a Midnight Summers Jawn. That is our production. Thank you so much. We're going to have the entire cohort come out. We're going to take this stage. I want them to receive your love and admiration. These are the people you came to see. They didn't know I was going to do this. They're just all frazzled. Love, yes. Receive your love. Get your flowers now. Okay, great. Perfect. So what you are looking at is Vote That Jawn's 2025 Summer Cohort. All right, thank you so much. The evening is not over. We were blessed this summer to be able to experience a lot of different things. One of those things was an amazing workshop by someone who is here today, who came out to show love that we were riveted about. Post-workshop, everybody was like, oh my God, that was so great. When are we doing that again? Is he coming back? And I'm like, it's not on the schedule. Relax, you'll see him again. And so we are very blessed to have an amazing poet. I did an amazing intro for the cohort. I'm not going to do that same intro for y'all. I'm going to let him introduce himself. I think that's more fitting. If we could have to the stage, Mr. Enoch, the poet.
Do I need to use the mic? No, you do not. All right, good. Because I'm already loud, and then this Jawn make me sound like. Transplant. 'Cause, 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 'c
Kingston said, he cold. I agree. I second that notion. So this is the portion that we had slotted for the open mic. I will open the mic right now. Does anyone have a poem that they're dying to read? Living to read? Word. Clock it. No? Okay. Yes? Oh, for real? All right. So there is a woman who's very instrumental in my life. That's because she gave it to me. Without her, I wouldn't exist. She's type important. There is a song that says, I will always love my mama. And so I will introduce you to Miss Melissa Palmer. This is my mama. Clap louder. It's my mom. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I raised my hand before I found what I was looking for. However, I just want to say thank you all for coming, and thank you, Matthew, for doing an outstanding job. And thank you, Miss Lorene, all right, Philly, and all collaborators for giving my young man an opportunity to share his gifts with the world and impart them to the youth. I am one who has served in nonprofit for over 25 years, and I took that opportunity after being terminated from federal government and told my then husband, who was not happy, that I was going to nonprofit. Oh my God, $7,000 pay cut? He was like, woman, are you crazy? Yes, like a fox. Raised two amazing young men in nonprofit, and fortunately was able to pass that on. And today I'm going to share a poem with you that I wrote in honor of Homer Jackson, who also gave me an opportunity in nonprofit, in addition to Lorene Carey, in addition to Lily Yeh and H. German Wilson. I just want to honor the ancestors today through this poem. It's all so real, I can't describe how I feel. In this moment, feeling doesn't seem real. However, I have begun to the process of producing reels. Reels of folks calling my phone, texting and leaving messages to send and extend condolences, asking questions to which I have no answers, answering questions I never asked, all in an effort to appease the emotions that sit with no place to go. As Homer has made his transition, his wings are soaring in high theory. The conversations, admirations, and information shared, we all witnessed. Created over time, no indecision. Direct connections were his vision. We worked diligently on the mission. Revision, indecision, and even in his remission. I'm always going to remember the lessons you shared. Forget the mofos, words he always uttered with care. In honor of our ancestors, Ashe, and thank you.
All right. Well, that will conclude our program. I want to thank all of you so much for coming out. Once again, my name is Matthew, the co-director for Vote That Jawn 2025 Summer Jawn. You have just experienced a midnight Summers Jawn. Thank you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause. You raising your hand? You raising your hand? Is it okay? I heard a yeah in the back. Is it gonna be fire? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So we have one more. We're still inspiring the youth. Woo!
Hi, my name is Mylena. I'm going into my junior year of high school this year, and I'm very excited. I really love poetry. I've been writing for about 3 years now. And my 9th grade year, I went through a lot. And when I felt like I had nothing, poetry was there. And poetry was my communication my 9th grade year, and it really helped me get through a lot. Since 9th grade year, I've written 2 poetry books. And I really love writing, but not only for myself, but because I feel like I want to give that voice to others when they feel like they don't have it. So I'm going to read one of my originals from my book called Under the Layers. This one is called Wishes. I'm starting to realize how many times humanity wishes for itself to get better. Wishing on stars and betting hopes on candles, like how parents wish for their babies to stay in cradles. Little kids wishing for toys or to meet a celebrity turns into wishing for way more selfishly. And then there's us who wish to be okay, wondering what happened to lead us astray. I remember wishing for the silliest things, to know crying as my thighs begin to sting. I wish I was still catching lantern bugs in jars, instead of now searching for feelings pushed down way too far. I too wish for humanity to be better, but it's impossible if girls wanted to be as light as a feather. Please keep the children hoping and dreaming, for we don't want them to have this feeling.
So I can, whoa. So y'all gonna buy her book, right? Yes, you all are going. Where can they find your book? It's on Amazon. What is it called again? Under the Layers. All right, so talk to her and get the book, like tonight. Okay, great. One thing I wanted to say before we release you all back into the world is I could not have done this by myself. I am indeed a co-director. Our amazing co-director, Carson, could not be here because she's gallivanting and enjoying the other side of the pond. She is in London. She has been of the utmost support. I ain't the most tech-savvy boy. The interns will tell you, computers and me have a hate-hate relationship. They hate me, and I hate that they hate me. Carson has been amazing. She has kept us on track and motivated and focused. So this is us giving you your flowers. Thank you so much, Carson. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Miss Carrie. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Enoch the Poet. Thank you, C70. Thank you, Public Trust. This is an amazing space. Everybody give it up for Public Trust for hosting us. Thank you, Art Philly, our amazing videographers. All you need to know from tonight is that you have a Jawn, and that Jawn requires your vote. Use your vote, use your voice, and encourage the youth. All right? Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Please eat the food, okay? Eat the food, eat the food. We love you so much. Mingle, mix. The cohort is coming out. Give them a round of applause once again. They were amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you again to Dylan, our amazing musician. We love you all. And peace, love, and soul. Okay.